Hi, welcome to today's On This Day in Tudor History with me, Claire Ridgway, a self-confessed Tudor nut who, I spend all my time researching and writing about Tudor history and sharing some of what I've researched with you here in these talks. Now, if you listened to yesterday's On This Day talk, then you will know that on the 26th of July 1588, 4,000 men had been assembled at Tilbury Fort on the Thames estuary. The reason being to guard the eastern approach to the City of London, the Thames, from an expected invasion by the Spanish Armada. Well, the next day, the 27th of July 1588, this day in history, Robert Dudley, Earl of Leicester, and a man who I would describe, obviously I've got a cat fan for Robert Dudley here, Earl of Leicester, and a man I would describe as Elizabeth I's true love, really. He was her favourite and her best friend. He was Lieutenant and Captain General of the Queen's armies and companies, and he invited Queen Elizabeth I to visit Tilbury, where he was busy assembling the troops. Now, the reason for Leicester's invitation was actually not just so that, as I said yesterday, Elizabeth could rally the troops and, get them ready to defend London, the Thames, from this Spanish invasion. But there was a more sort of, there was an underlying reason. His reason was to prevent his beloved queen and friend from doing what she was threatening. And she was threatening to ride to the south coast and to be with her troops, meeting the Duke of Parma's forces as they actually landed. And he wanted to keep his queen safe from harm. So he wrote to Elizabeth, inviting her to come and comfort the forces gathered at Tilbury, saying, "You shall, dear lady, behold as goodly, as loyal, and as able men as any prince Christian can show you." And also assuring her that he personally would be in charge of her safety, because she was the most dainty and sacred thing we have in this world to care for. A man must tremble when he thinks of it. So this was a ploy to get Elizabeth to Tilbury and away from the front line, really, where she could get in harm's way. And this letter that he wrote to Elizabeth worked. And as I mentioned yesterday, the Queen decided to visit the troops at Tilbury Fort on the 8th of August 1588. Now, also on this day in history, this exact day in 1588, the Spanish Armada dropped anchor just off Calais, near where Parma, the Duke of Parma, had gathered 16,000 men at Dunkirk. So the Spaniards were really getting ready to invade England. This was a serious threat to England. Oh dear. Of course, we know with our hindsight that, this invasion never happened, and the Spanish ships, some of them obviously didn't survive, and those that did survive were ended up having to go home. So it was a failure for Spain. But of course, these people didn't know that, and so this was a real and present threat. Okay, I hope you're enjoying these daily talks. You can, of course, you can hit the bell to be notified, but you can also just click there to subscribe to this channel, and you can of course give this this video a like. That would be very helpful. It is really helpful when people subscribe and interact, because it makes it easier, makes it more prominent on YouTube, so that other people can find and enjoy these On This Day in Tudor History talks as well. But I thank you for following me, especially those of you who have been following me since the 1st of January. I do hope that you're enjoying these Tudor tidbits. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.